Your probability of guilt has now risen to 98%.
How'd that happen?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at movies that received a general release in 2026, getting relatively bad reviews or performing poorly at the box office.
Now that I will be First Lady again, I fully intend to break old norms to elevate the position.
Number 10, The Bride.
She's trying to be good, trying to be quiet. She's in hell. Darlings, look, something's cracking inside her too.
Reimagining a horror icon should feel electric, but The Bride never quite comes alive. Set in a stylized gothic world, the story follows a reanimated woman created as a companion who rejects her intended purpose.
Helpmate, helpmeet, lady, wife.
She begins searching for identity in a society that fears and exploits her existence. It's a strong concept with clear Frankenstein influence, but critics argue the execution never commits to a clear direction.
Frankenstein! A paucity, a poverty, crumbs from a stifled mind, and they are gobbled, gulped, scoffed, wolfed.
Empire's Leela Latif pointed to its tonal confusion, calling it a true hot mess. Key relationships feel underdeveloped, emotional arcs lack weight, and the film drifts between ideas without cohesion. This is clearly why, despite a slightly positive tomato meter rating, Variety still refers to the movie as a box office bomb.
You cheated and you won. The dead are angry.
Scared? What did you do?
Number 9, Scream 7.
There's somebody in that room with a ghost face mask on. Do not go in there. Scott!
Ghostface is back, but the formula is starting to show serious fatigue. Scream 7 follows new and old characters targeted by the mass killer while trying to balance fresh mystery elements with its signature meta-commentary on horror tropes.
I can't just leave.
Listen, I know this story, and if we stay, more people will die. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna risk you getting hurt.
Critics immediately noted that the franchise is leaning heavily on nostalgia instead of innovation. Variety pointed out that it lacked originality and had just enough to keep audiences entertained for a weekend.
Surprise, Sydney. Do you need a minute? Oh my gosh, it looks like you need a minute. I'll wait.
Nice try. Stumacher is dead.
While there are moments of tension and brief bursts of creativity, they're overshadowed by unsurprising twists and a lack of imaginative risk-taking. Even the humor isn't as sharp this time around, leaving the film feeling less like a reinvention of the slasher genre.
Who is that? I don't know, but I saw him today in the coffee shop.
You sure?
Yeah. Nobody knows the guy? Okay, that's weird.
That is weird.
Number 8, In the Blink of an Eye. Ambitious sci-fi ideas often collapse under their own weight, and In the Blink of an Eye is no exception.
I think you should go home, actually.
Oh. Okay.
The film spans 3 interconnected timelines: prehistoric humanity in 47,000 BC, a present-day scientific community, and a far future civilization reflecting on human legacy. Rather than focusing on a single protagonist, it shifts between multiple perspectives, gradually connecting themes of evolution, memory, and existence.
Feel powerless. Because you are. Well, what do we do?
This made critics argue that execution becomes overly abstract and emotionally distant. The Guardian considered it to be tediously boring, while Empire highlighted its heavy reliance on conceptual storytelling.
And I sleep with my phone next to my bed because that's like the closest thing I have to a relationship, and I'm not even mourning my mom because I'm mourning my boyfriend.
The movie struggles to maintain engagement despite its philosophical ambition and striking visuals. Ultimately, Andrew Stanton prioritizes idea over connection, leaving audiences more puzzled than invested.
Imagine we could stop time. We could press pause on something that's plagued mankind from the very beginning.
Number 7, The Strangers, Chapter 3. The mass intruders return once again, but the fear feels increasingly diluted.
What did I do? Why did you take me?
The Strangers Chapter 3 tells the story of another group of victims trapped in a remote setting as the iconic mass killers unleash another night of home invasion terror. This time, the simplicity and unpredictability that once made the franchise unsettling now feels stretched beyond its limits.
Does anyone have any information about where my sister is? Anything at all?
Critics were highly disapproving of the installment, with Variety calling it an unconscionably lazy piece of work, basically because of its repetitive structure. Brian Tallarico of Roger Ebert mentioned that the franchise is in a broader decline, and that the series never justified its existence.
Sorry, I don't know what we did. What did we do? What did we do? I don't know.
This is because the film largely reuses similar setups without escalating the tension, turning what should be suspenseful into a predictable pattern. Number 6. Return to Silent Hill.
Silent Hill Summer Storm. Doesn't happen often, but when it does.
Adapting Silent Hill 2 was always going to be a difficult task, and Return to Silent Hill fails to capture its psychological depth. The movie follows James Sutherland, a man drawn back to the fog-covered town after receiving a mysterious letter from his deceased wife.
James, so much time has passed. I know that, but I'm begging you to please come back.
The cryptic note leads him into a surreal world shaped by guilt, grief, and trauma. While the setup remains faithful to the source material, critics maintain that much of its emotional complexity is lost in translation.
Where are you?
It hurts so bad. I can't make it stop.
It's gonna be okay. Just tell me where you are.
Slant Magazine criticized the film for removing all the psychosexual nuance of Silent Hill 2. Other reviews say it fails to drum up real scares for viewers. Though the atmosphere attempts to replicate the game's haunting tone, the result feels more visually familiar.
Even after he died, they used to worship him, some kind of prophet or god. And his daughter, they would... Wait.
Number 5. Psycho Killer.
Across 6 states, at least 15 victims have met their fates at the hands of the bloodthirsty killer that many are calling the Satanic Slasher.
With a screenplay from Seven writer Andrew Kevin Walker, expectations for Psycho Killer were understandably high. Billed as a revenge-driven thriller, the film follows a highway patrol officer whose life is destroyed when a serial killer murders her husband.
God. He's gone.
She's pushed into a relentless cross-country pursuit to bring him to justice. With that narrative, the film aims for emotional intensity and psychological tension, but critics say it rarely achieves either. The Rap's William Bibiani described it as an aimless, boring slasher, calling its ideas laughable with an absurd ending.
3 Mile Island is on the verge of catastrophic failure. If we're lucky, they've got 2, maybe 3 hours to try to evacuate all of central Pennsylvania.
Other reviews echoed similar concerns, pointing to its familiar tropes and emotionally flat execution. Despite a strong central premise and committed performance, the film struggles to build momentum, and it never fully capitalizes on its dark concept.
Hail Satan! Welcome your servant into the kingdom of hell.
Number 4. Greenland 2 Migration.
Fragments stuck in our orbit, pelting us without warning. We tried rebuilding, but the world wasn't ready.
Surviving the comet impact was only the beginning, but Greenland 2 Migration struggles to justify its expanded scope. While the first film thrived on tension and intimacy, this sequel broadens the scale significantly, but loses much of its grounding.
FEMA planned for 2 years. We've stretched our resources to 5.
So we're basically running on fumes.
Yes. We are getting too close.
It follows the Garrity family as they leave their bunker and journey across a devastated Earth in search of a habitable zone. The Guardian criticized its heavy tone and lack of urgency compared to the original, calling the film disastrously self-serious.
It's okay. Okay. It's all right. Okay. Deep breaths. We're gonna go to Max. Everything is gonna be okay.
Instead of heightening suspense, the story leans into melodrama and uneven pacing, resulting in a film that feels larger in ambition and weaker in impact. In the end, it dilutes the survival tension that defined its predecessor.
Vous avez de la chance d'être en vie. Il y a des insurgés partout. Vous allez où?
Number 3. Protector.
It's funny how much training I've had in taking a life. Years with the 3rd Cav, then the regiment.
At first glance, Protector plays like a standard action thriller, but underneath, it's a straightforward revenge story. The film follows a former military veteran and mother who learns that her daughter has been kidnapped.
I was looking for my daughter. Where is she?
You let all the livestock go.
Driven by grief and rage, she embarks on a statewide pursuit to track her down, eluding both cops and the military. While the premise echoes films like Taken, critics say the execution lacks originality or depth. Roger Ebert's Monica Castillo wrote that the film was dragged down by overly explanatory dialogue and overused storylines.
They're prepared. They don't use seat belts to be faster on the draw. There's too many to take out in the field.
Even with a committed lead performance and occasional touching moments, the film fails to distinguish itself from similar revenge thrillers. The story may be functional, but it's forgettable in execution.
The chairman! He runs everything. He's the big boss. He's at the Grand Hotel. God, he's protected, but I can help you get to him.
Number 2, Mercy.
Violent capital offenders are now judged by artificial intelligence, which reduces the need for lengthy trials by acting as judge, jury, and executioner.
With a strong cast and an even stronger premise, Mercy explores a near-future world where artificial intelligence governs the justice system. This sci-fi thriller tells the story of a detective who begins to question the system after inconsistencies emerge in how mercy is being calculated and distributed.
Christopher Raven, you're before this court today charged with the murder of your wife, Nicole Raven.
Honestly, the film's setup is intriguing, but critics were mostly unconvinced by its execution. The Independent's Clarice Lowry described the movie as a baffling piece of work because of its uneven tone and lack of narrative coherence.
Anger is not helpful to you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, my wife is dead and my daughter's been told that I killed her, okay? So yeah, maybe I need a minute, all right? Do you understand that?
While the film raises timely questions about automation and morality, it doesn't explore them with depth or clarity. What is delivered on screen is just a familiar sci-fi idea, which feels conceptually stronger than it is dramatically satisfying.
No way. No, he wouldn't. No way.
If you love games, be sure to check out WatchMojo's new game, Terrible Influence. Just launched for purchase at terribleinfluence.com. Terrible Influence is a satirical board game about the dark side of fame from the writer of the most popular girls in school and us, WatchMojo.
Boom. I can make an apology video.
Oh, you so would.
Click on the link in the description to check out the game and be the first to play Terrible Influence.
Number 1, Melania.
20 days in my life. Family, business, philanthropy, and becoming First Lady of the United States again.
Few documentaries in recent memory have sparked as much controversy as Melania. Directed by Brett Ratner, the film explores the public image and personal life of a highly polarizing political figure.
With this film, I want to show the American people my journey, the transition from a private citizen to the First Lady. Every day, I lead with purpose and devotion.
The narrative was made through archival footage, interviews, and curated commentary. While presented as an observational documentary, critics argued it often feels heavily shaped by propaganda rather than the neutrality.
The only thing we can do is cherish the moments we have with our family and loved ones while they are still with us.
The Guardian described it as spectacularly unrevealing, and Variety's Owen Gleiberman simply added that it's a documentary that never comes to life. The film also became a talking point for its unusual audience reception, with extreme rating patterns and debate over voting irregularities.
It is impossible to see these images and not be horrified at the utter devastation and catastrophic loss. I think about the families.
With Rotten Tomatoes scores fluctuating around 10%, it remains widely rejected by reviewers, despite its cultural attention. Did your least favorite movie of the year make our list? Let us know in the comments below.